Hi, and welcome to another episode of Piano TV. So today what we're going to do is we're going to learn a song, and this is one by Edvard Grieg, and it's a pretty famous song. It's from the Peer Gynt Suite. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's just how I've been saying it. It's a piece called Morning Mood. So we're going to look a little bit more into the details of that piece and like the symphonic arrangement that this piano arrangement's based on. And we're going to talk a bit about the key of F, and we're going to talk about major and minor chords a little bit and all that good stuff. So let's get started. So Edvard Grieg was a Romantic era composer, which means he was writing music around in the 1800s in that time frame. So to me, what he's most famous for are his lyric pieces for piano, which are at like an intermediate to advanced level. So we're not there yet. So today we're looking at a simplified version of a piece from the Peer Gynt Suite. And what that was a play that Grieg wrote the music to. So this particular piece, Morning Mood, is from the fourth act, and it's like from the prelude. So before we talk about that any more in depth, let's listen to a quick clip of it. So that sounds super nice, right? So if you were listening to that and you were thinking to yourself, this sounds an awful lot like the sunrise in a Moroccan desert with trees and stuff, then you would be correct, because that was what was going on in the scene while this played. And the main character was like fending off apes with a stick because he was stuck in a tree. So the first thing I want to look at is the key signature of the song, and this is a new one to us. We haven't looked at a key signature with a flat before, and we won't get into too much detail today. We'll talk more about that in an upcoming video, but what you need to know is that this flat is floating on the line for B. So that's telling you that every single B in the song you're going to play as a flat. The next thing we'll look at is this 8VA. So 8VA is just shorthand for one octave. So since this 8VA and the whole line going all the way across is above the staff, it's telling you that these right-hand notes are going to be played an octave higher than how they're written. So this first note is a C. So instead of playing this in the regular spot that you see it, you would actually play the next highest C. Now, if the 8VA was written below the notes, then that would indicate that you'd play the C an octave lower. So the fact that it's written above, just keep that in mind. You're playing the notes an octave higher than as written. And the reason musicians do this is because you'd have to be reading like a ton of ledger lines otherwise, and it would just be more difficult to read. So sometimes 8VA is just a way to simplify your note reading. So without the 8VA, you would be playing the song starting on this C, but instead you'll end up starting on this C, which is 8VA an octave higher. The left hand doesn't have any 8VA markings, so it can just stay where it's written. So halfway through the piece, when you get to halfway through the first page, when you get to the third line, you'll notice that the 8VA marking is gone. So you would just then play line 3 and 4 in the regular octave where they're written. And what this is trying to accomplish is imitating the instruments in the original version of Morning. So it opens with a flute, which has a high-pitched sound, and then is followed by an oboe, which has a lower-pitched sound. So that's what that's trying to imitate. In the fourth line of music, something super exciting happens, and it's called transposition. So what you see here is all of a sudden there's a bunch of sharps, and there's this natural symbol. And what the natural does is cancel out the flat that's in the key signature. So instead of playing this as a B flat, you'd play it as just a regular B. So what transposition means is that, as you keep looking, it means that the song has changed from its original key, the key of F, into a new key, the key of A. So yeah, this is kind of fun, and the rest of the song stays in that key almost to the very end. And it's the same melody, but you're just playing them on different notes this time. So that's all for today's video. If you liked the piece and the symphonic little clip that I showed you, definitely Google it after to listen to the full version because it's a really sweet song. So that being said, have fun with practicing as always, and subscribe if you want to keep up to date. And you can also visit pianotv.net where I post all the videos and the additional materials like the sheet music and stuff to download for free. All right, until next time. I do a lot of gesturing, don't I? This constant gesturing. I gotta cut this out. Let's try this again.